Hey peeps, Willow Skylar here. I haven't made a bitching blog in a while, and I think it's about time that I did. Just a few things that have been coming up and kind of bothering me the last little while. One major thing, I really don't know how to handle this situation very well. I got screwed over royally by a guy in the States. I'm up in Canada, middle of Canada, Winnipeg, Manitoba. I paid him back in November for a headdress for my Deathbird costume. I really wanted to do this costume. I had a lot of plans for it. I should have probably just made the headdress myself. Would have been a lot cheaper. But I figured, hey, you know what? This guy has a lot of really cool pictures up of all the crap that he made. And he has quite a few people commenting on his Facebook page about how great their costumes were that he made. He has pictures all over the place. I'm not going to mention his name as much as I want to and the company he works for. I was told by one guy not to, who also got screwed over. But at the same time, you know, I want to warn people in the costuming industry and in the small costuming community that I am a part of, that this guy has really fucked people over. I'm out $80 for this headdress, which, you know, really, in all honesty, probably would have cost me maybe $20 to make myself. Or if I were to get someone locally to commission it, which, you know, I'm finding out there are other local commissioners that do stuff, and, which, you know, I'm just gonna stay locally from now on. I'm not gonna go anywhere near sending money over PayPal or money order or crap like that. I've learned my lesson now, and thank God for that. But it's still $80. Okay, technically, because I'm up in Canada, I only gave him $75. But it's still, that amount of money is still, excuse me, quite a bit. And I'm pissed. I should have had it by now. It's been 9 flippin' months. And, I want to scream about this. I want to write all over Facebook and Twitter about how much of a dick this guy has been. But, again, trying to stay calm, and maybe, hopefully, he'll come to his senses and actually send me my product. I was hoping to have it before the next convention, the next big convention that's coming up in November. Again, fuck. Sorry, pardon my language, but I am really pissed about this. If you're hearing some rumblings, my husband's working on his truck right now. It's 11:19 p.m. and I hope he has enough light outside, but yeah, the rumbling is our air compressor that he's using. So I don't know what's wrong with our truck. Hopefully nothing too serious. It was making a lot of squeaking noises. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. My husband's a big car guy. He knows all his shit, so hopefully. I'm glad I have a husband who's able to do mechanical work, and that way it won't cost us a shitload of money later on to take it in. We have an I'm gonna probably hear about this later. We have an 89 Dodge Ram. Very, very nice truck. I love riding in it. I don't drive myself. I have my learner's license, but because it's a standard, he doesn't want me driving it right now. And you think that he'd want to teach me, but he won't. But anyway, that's besides the point. I've been up since 5 a.m. I had to work at 7 o'clock till 3. So I'm a little bit tired, but shit needs to be said right now. I have a lot of crap that's going on in my head. For those of you who don't know me very well, I'm a huge nerd. And if you guys haven't seen on my YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook page, if you are just tuning in and meeting me for the first time, I cosplay. I'm a costumer. Now, I'll buy stuff that looks like the costume, and I'll make, like, add stuff to the costume. I hand sew a lot of stuff. If I do use a sewing machine, it's just like a quick stitch. But yeah, I did some sewing back in high school, junior high, but I've completely forgotten all the basic sewing. I bought myself, I bought myself some material and a bustier. I thought at one point I was gonna be good enough to make myself a bustier, so I went out and bought the pattern and some material, and I tried to make myself a cheesy ass bustier. Now, I doubt there is any way that I can fix that. But I have it to remind myself that what a horrible, horrible idea that was to try to come up with any kind of way of making a bustier when I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Now people are gonna laugh at me and go, "Hey, that looks like a Harlequin thing." Yes, it was made to be Harley Quinn, but again, I had no idea what I was doing. You can definitely see where the lack of sewing skill I have. So anyway, so that's just sitting there. I have all this material that I wasted, and I hope that maybe I can use that scrap material for something. I gave whatever was left to a friend of mine who wanted to make wings, and I hope she's doing an awesome job on those wings, because let's just say that my skill right now is very limited. Anyway, so the truck, sewing, I want to make some of the things that I have on the go right now. I want to do a anti-cosplay bullying documentary, I guess. Because I'm kind of sleepy, I have no idea if I'm making any sense, but anti-bullying cosplay documentary, that sounds a little bit better. Because a lot of us cosplayers have gotten some really bad reputations over the internet, and some of the stuff that people say on our page, and it's just very rude. I don't have a DeviantArt account because of the fact that I'm on every other social network site. I really don't need another one. I just recently signed up for Instagram. Why? I don't know. I had an issue with my camera on my camera program on my iPhone. It kind of crapped out on me, so I signed up for Instagram. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. So I take a lot of really dumb pictures, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I take a lot of pictures of animals because I'm a crazy cat person, crazy cat lady. I have 2 cats, and thank God my husband keeps me at bay because I'm sure I probably would have more. I grew up with having, or like as a kid, I used to have a lot of cats. At one point, I believe we had like 12 cats in our house, all because I used to bring home strays. I was one of those people. I was one of those kids that are like, I love cats, and I picked them up and I brought them home. My mom would let me. And I remembered every single one of them. And I lived here in the city. It's okay, it's acceptable doing stuff like that when you're living out in the country because people just drop their animals off. At one point, when I lived in one of my foster homes, I lived out in the middle of nowhere and people dropped off a bunch of cats. And so we had cats living in our yard for the longest time. Although I think my foster mom may have picked them up and brought them somewhere else, which was really sad because the short amount of time that I had the cats, I set up a tent outside just to sleep with the cats. Not in any sexual, don't twist my words around and think that I'm doing bestiality. I know some of you trolls might actually consider that bestiality. No, I set up a tent just so that I can cuddle and be with the cats. And I would happily do that again because we have a lot of cute little stray cats around my house. An orange one just paid a visit to me the other day. So adorable. Anyway, getting off topic. Lots of bitching that I could be doing right now. Anyway, going back to the anti-bullying, I just think that it needs to stop. I am a huge fan of other people's cosplays, and I think that anybody, any size, who takes the amount of time to make their costumes, very talented, and they don't deserve the sexual harassment that they get over the internet. I sure in hell didn't deserve. Okay, I am a busty woman. I've always have been. That's what happens when I take after the German side of my family. I'm German Ukrainian, and could be Jewish myself, but I don't know that for a fact because I don't know who my dad is. So anyway, I take after my grandma, who's short and fat, and I too am short and fat, and yeah, so any cosplay I have, I try to make sure that I'm not showing a whole lot of cleavage, but if I am, that's up to me. If I want to show my cleavage, that's up to the person who dresses up as Princess Leia if she wants to wear the slave Leia outfit. Should not have anything to do with any sexual comments that people might have. They're doing it because they feel good in those costumes. And okay, if there's people that are doing it, okay, there are websites that have people taking off their clothes and exposing areas of their body after being in cosplay, and cosplay deviants. I do respect those people. I have them on my Facebook, and I talk to them every now and then because there was one girl that did a really good job at being Claire Redfield, and I just loved the costume. But that's as far as I went with that website. I'm not on it at all. And I will not take off my clothes, personally. I love Ada Wong. I love any Resident Evil character. And I encourage anybody to, if that's what they want, if they think that they look sexy in their costumes and they like that attention, all the best for them. But that's something I myself will not do. And I've already had a pretty big, huge discussion with the people who run the local convention, and I am friends with the guys who hold our convention, and I encourage anybody to do their, you know, I feel like I'm sorry if I'm talking up my ass right now. Up my ass? Out of my ass. Anyway, I've had a little there was a little discussion a while ago on my page. Our convention does this Miss C4 competition. It's for those who dress up in any costume. Any woman who's in costume can go up and down the stage and show off their amazing costumes. And now our convention wants to do a Miss Sexy C4 competition. And at first, I kind of jumped the gun on that whole thing, because the way they explained it before was dress up in any sexy costume, whether it be a TARDIS or, you know, a stormtrooper or anything. I myself didn't feel like it was necessary to have something like that at our convention. Even though there are lots of conventions out there who do the whole sexy, San Diego Comic-Con has done the Princess Leia slave costume stuff. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Me personally, I couldn't support it, because I just felt like our convention has always favored the whole family-oriented person. We were supposed to be known as the family-friendly convention. And to have something like that go on after our convention, like in the evenings of our convention, I felt like it would show a negative image on our convention. I was explained later that they aren't necessarily wanting to do the whole sexy costume thing, but they want to encourage more women to do the cross-dressing costumes, like taking a male character and making it into a female. I can support that, but it was just the way things were explained, and I kind of have a feeling that some information has been misconstrued, and yeah, okay, people have jumped the gun on this, and I just hope that I want to maybe just clear up the air a little bit. I have supported my convention for as long as I knew that it was around. I started going in 2009, and I was just like, yeah, we have a convention. I'm so stoked for this. How I did not know prior to that we had a convention is beyond me. I felt like I was living under a rock. But anyway, 2009, went to my first convention, met Adam West. Super excited for that. The next year, unfortunately, I had to work. I didn't show up in 2010. So if for whatever reason information gets around saying that I was saying nothing but nasty things about the convention, it's untrue. I have supported our convention. I helped out last year at the convention because of the fact that when Wizard World had bought our convention, and then they decided to not hold our convention. I kind of got pissed off, and I'm like, no, we must have a convention. It is, you know, as a huge nerd, I want to see our convention continue, even if it's just a local, small, tiny thing where nerds can gather and dress up. I wanted to make sure that we got our convention. So what I was gonna do was get a huge group together, and we were gonna, you know, it wasn't gonna be a riot. Honest to God, it wasn't gonna be a riot. I wanted to just have a gathering of costumers together, and we were gonna be at CTV downtown, just so that we can make sure that someone sees how important it was for us to have a convention. And I can't exactly remember what I called it then, but this was like very close to where Toronto had their riots and Vancouver had their riots, so it was just very, very close to all that, and people were like, oh, no, this is gonna get out of hand, and I'm like, no, I swear, it wasn't gonna get out of hand. Word got around that we were gonna do this, and I had a lot of support from the local costuming groups and all that. There goes the air compressor. It scares the crap out of me every time. Anyway, word got around Facebook, and Mike Paley, I hope I'm saying his name right, he said that, don't worry, the C4 convention will happen, and if you can help plan it, that'd be great. So a bunch of us got together and planned a really good convention. We worked hard to get our convention. We had a lot of really good guests too, and you know, this year I'm excited. Tia Carrera is showing up. I'm totally gonna do a Relic Hunter costume just for her. And I'm super excited. Yes, okay, I'm not Asian, but Relic Hunter, as cheesy as it was in the 90s, it was one of my favorite shows on TV. I loved it. And I love Tia Carrera. She is a great actress. And okay, yes, we have, hopefully, Patrick Stewart showing up. Excuse me. Super excited for that. Knock on wood that he does show up. Unfortunately, Brent Spiner had to cancel, but you know, with our convention, I met so many great celebrities. William Shatner, because he's such a big name, we only had him for one day, and we fist bumped. That was pretty cool. Would have really liked to have a bigger, more of a conversation with him about his career, but, you know, unfortunately, that was just the way he was. It was kind of like, it was also when I met Adam West back in 2009, I was thinking more, I'm gonna be able to hear his stories, talk to him, see what he's all about. I really didn't have a good response from him, but Julie Newmar, when I met Julie Newmar, she was just fucking fantastic. Going to a convention for me is, I have to say, it is one of the most funnest things that I've ever had done. And I don't care about being famous. I don't want to be known as the best cosplayer. I just want to get together with people who like the same stuff I do and just be able to talk and encourage others to get into cosplaying. And you don't have to spend all your money on costuming. There are so many places that you can go to that I go to Value Village for a lot of my stuff. It is a local thrift store. If you have the money, by all means, go all over the web and find the most expensive dress you can find, or, you know, if you're able to sew your costumes, by all means, do that. But again, I'm not looking to be famous for my costuming. I just want to bring together more people. And I guess what I'm saying is I hope that someone may be able to teach me how to better myself as a costumer. I don't know. I guess it's because growing up, I never really had anybody to teach me how to put on makeup, how to do my hair, go shopping, right? It was just always, the clothing has always been bought for me and all that. So now as an adult, I am just slowly, I'm still learning how to shop. And you know, I go to Walmart and buy a shirt that says it's a large or extra large, and then I'm like, oh, this is a great shirt, and I bring it home and it doesn't fit. That really pisses me off. Extra large should mean extra fucking large. Again, I'm a busty woman. If a shirt doesn't fit properly in the boob, why are you calling it extra large? It boggles my mind. Where are you guys getting your extra large sizes from? Okay. Obviously, you're not measuring a sumo wrestler if for an extra large if your extra larges are for people who are fucking tiny. Now that I got that over with. Clothing sizes piss me off. I don't remember having to go to a woman's. Sorry. I don't recall ever having to go to a specialty store to buy myself shirts or pants. I'm still getting used to, I guess I'm still getting used to being a bigger woman. Yes, I have gained quite a bit of weight since I met my husband 10 years ago. I don't think I've gained that substantial amount of weight. I didn't like bloom overnight. I've eaten my fair share of burgers and fries, which I probably should eat a little bit more healthy. Yes. I've tried going to the gym, just didn't like going to the gym. I have an exercise bike downstairs that I do use. I have the Wii Fit that I should probably kick my ass into using a lot more than I do. I love doing yoga. I need to find myself a better yoga place to go. Going to the gym by myself, I didn't have any fun going by myself. If I can find someone to go to the gym with that is encouraging, then all the best to it. But until then, yeah, I'm just gonna keep on living my life, and hopefully I don't eat myself to the size of a blimp. I love my food. I love my burgers. I love my cheeseburgers. As I'm losing my train of thought again, I've been up since 5 a.m. I should probably go to sleep soon. But I want to make sure that my husband is okay outside, and he fixes the truck. Because otherwise we're screwed for this weekend if we have a wedding to go to. His cousin is getting married, and I'm hoping it's a great wedding. I'm sure it will be. I have nothing against weddings per se. It's just being a nerd. I'm a tomboy. I've always hung out with guys, and apparently people have a huge problem with me hanging out with guys. I have really no girlfriends. I have some, like, friends that are girls, but I mean, I don't have any close, really, really close friendships with any girls, because, well, they just don't have the same interest as me. I mean, some of them are nerds. Some of them I can talk movies and video games with. I'm just not one to go out and get my hair done, get my nails done. I hate shopping. Unless, of course, it's going... I should probably put the two shopping sprees together, where I do my clothing shopping for myself and for my costumes together. Maybe I'd like it a little bit more. I hate going to malls. I absolutely hate malls. One, because they are just... It's like the streets. Overpacked with people that are really dumb. And they don't watch where the fuck they're going, and that really pisses me off. I worked at a mall, and I think the worst place to work in a mall would be a dollar store. I worked at a dollar store for a year and a half. I loved it, but I also hate it, because the people running it were assholes. Anyway, I should probably end this blog, because apparently I've been chatting for about 34 minutes now. I hope I got my point across. Hope you guys have a good night. Talk to you soon.